Welcome back to the Playdate by Freshly Picked. I am your host, Fifi.
Hi, guys. I'm your host, Mariah, Hosea.
We are so excited to be here today. We're going to kind of be discussing some of the questions in regards to moms of multiples.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, Fifi and I are actually related through marriage, and I believe we're also related through blood through her mom's side. So we are both Tongan American. So yeah, that denotes that we have a lot of kids because Polynesian families are big. I have 5 children, and so does she. And we also both have 2 boys and 3 girls.
Yes, the ages of our children. I am a mom of 5 kids. My oldest is 5. I've got a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a 10-month-old baby.
She just popped them out. I think we were pregnant, like in similar timelines. My oldest is 6, and then my youngest is 1. So yeah, we both had kids within 5 years.
I know.
So we are in the thick of it. So I have a question for you, Fifi.
Yes.
What did you expect with having so many kids? What was the hardest transition for you, do you think?
Honestly, I didn't expect to have so many so fast.
Same.
I just knew I wanted a lot of kids. And at first the number was 7. Obviously I've got 5 and that completes our family. But it's because my expectation was to have a lot of kids. And as the years kind of went by, I realized as each kid came along that it just kept feeling more and more complete. But like, honestly, the hardest transition for me for all of my kids was probably going from none to 1.
I agree. That's mine too.
Yes. And I know there's a lot of people out there that will say like, oh, going from 2 to 3 is the hardest because now the kids are, what is it?
You're outnumbered.
Outnumbered. Yeah. The kids outnumber you as parents. But honestly, like nobody prepared me enough for the shock of my life.
No, literally.
Like my body, physically, I did not know what was going on. Oh my gosh, like don't get me started on the birth part, but even postpartum.
Yes.
I'm like, did I know postpartum blues was a thing? Yeah. Did I know it would hit me like a train? No.
It's so true.
No. So that's why I think in regards to like my transition to motherhood, honestly, going from none to 1, because then when I knew what to expect of my body and how things would be mentally and emotionally afterwards, like I could handle myself much easier. I could cope a lot better with every single kid that came afterwards.
Yeah, you know what to expect.
Yeah, it's still hard, but I still have a foundation I'm going off of.
For sure. And I think for me, I just didn't realize how time consuming it would be, like having to wake up on the hour every hour to feed my son. I went from just worrying about myself and what I eat to like, oh wait, I have to get up every 2 hours for this kid. Like it was not easy. So yeah, I definitely agree. 0 to 1 is totally the hardest.
Yeah.
And people look at me in the grocery store, oh, you have your hands full. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know.
I choose this hard.
Well, I'm still learning. I'm not like a professional mom or anything, but it's definitely easier. So yeah.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to the new moms.
I know that transition's hard. I'm actually not that surprised that we agree on that one. Oh, yeah. And I think for both of us, well, speaking for myself, going from none to 1, also like it was a transition between not just motherhood, but how to be a wife still.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so like that was a little difficult too.
Because I don't know about you, but
navigate that.
I was only like 3 months into my marriage when I got pregnant. So
Me
I was
too.
Still like very fresh, like, oh, wow. So we're in this. Like,
oh, wow. We love each other.
Like,
yeah.
Like we didn't even give ourselves a year to like just be married. Like, no.
Yeah, no. And that was the goal for me.
Yeah.
Except I didn't go back for my
you guys
birth
took
control.
Time. You guys took time.
I didn't go back for my birth control refill. after 3 months.
You're like, surprise.
Yeah.
Here
So
comes
then I
baby
got
number 2.
pregnant and timeline was fast forward, but that's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. We
Whatever
adapted.
is great for your family.
Yes. That was still a transition though. Like marriage and motherhood. So anyway, being a mom of 5 kids, what have you found is the most difficult thing you've dealt with?
The most difficult is I feel like I want them to all have enough time with me. So it's hard to balance it, especially with my youngest right now. He's just so clingy. Like he's a mama's boy. So he always wants to be with me. But then my other kids get jealous. I don't know if James is the same way, but he'll try to. My son, Micah, he's the oldest. He'll act out because he wants that same attention as the younger kids. But yeah, it's just balancing it out. Something my husband and I do is we do dates with our kids just to make sure like they just get that one-on-one time. And I think also something important is love languages. Each of my kids have different love languages, so I have to serve and love them differently. For my son, it's going to be words of affirmation. For my daughter, who's also autistic, she needs that quality time. Like she needs mom right there in her face, doing a puzzle with her. For my youngest, of course, it's physical touch because he's still nursing and he needs me like all hours of the day. But yeah, I think just that's my biggest concern is, oh, am I doing enough? Am I there for them when they need me? That kind of stuff. So
Yeah. No, I love that because we actually do dates as well.
yeah.
I mean, we grew up doing that with my parents, and that's something I wanted to do
Yeah.
is make sure that my kids all get that one-on-one time.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be anything big either. Like even just a trip to the store to get a treat. Like I think parents might think that's like a little excessive, but even like a little drive, like honestly, it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be anything like
I mean,
a planned activity.
There's a dollar store for a
Also,
reason.
5 kids is expensive. So we don't have all the money in the world to be going to the movies or the aquarium every single weekend. But yeah, just little things. And my kids, it means the world to them.
Yeah, for sure. I think like with mine, what I've found most difficult is I would probably say very similar, trying to make sure that they all like have me. But I think where mine is a little different is only because, like, with my kids, I have to remember to change my parenting style with each of them.
Oh, yeah. That
And
is so hard.
I know it's like not the norm. Well, it should be normalized. I think it is close to being normalized.
Mhm.
But changing your parenting style with each of your kids, mainly because each of them need different things.
Mhm.
And I know, like, at times I can be sucked into like traditional parenting tactics and things like that.
Same.
And so easily where I will parent them all in this like one size fits all type parenting style. And I realize that it's like obviously not fair to them because they're all learning and growing at different levels.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, my
They're all
5-year-old.
different ages. They can't comprehend
Yeah.
the same rules the same way.
Yeah, because like right now, my 5-year-old, he like will full on punch his little brother, but his brother's 2.
Yeah.
And like his reasoning is, oh, well, he hit me first. And valid. Valid, he hit him first. But also like Samson's 2, my son's 2, he doesn't get it. And
Yeah.
it's so difficult for me to kind of try to like remember to talk to my 5-year-old as just what he needs versus like my 2-year-old and allowing, because, you know,
Mhm.
James will see me talking to my 2-year-old and giving him, he expects me to time him out or give him something
Oh,
like
yeah.
a big
Mhm.
consequence, but he's 2, so I won't do
Yes.
that. And so like that's probably my difficult like thing I'm going through right now is because my older kids want me to hold the line on my younger kids
Mhm.
to where I'm
They
holding
want
the
that
line on.
consistency.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, you're not being
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. So that's a struggle. And I'm realizing one of the ways what I'm trying out
Yeah.
is to correct in private. Because I mean, if my son, you know, my 5-year-old is doing something, it could be so easy to snap at your kid and whatever and be like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change behavior.
That's such a good
And-
tactic, though, because I feel
Yeah.
like once they're one-on-one, like, it can almost be embarrassing when you're getting, like, reprimanded in front of your siblings, like, especially the
Yeah.
oldest, like, "Wait, like, I'm the biggest, like, Mom's embarrassing me in front of my little siblings," like, But
Yeah.
I get that one-on-one is like, it's more intimate and I feel like they'll change more
Yeah,
and they'll grasp the concept of, no, I
for
can't do
sure.
that.
Yeah. So I love that concept because I think it's easy for me to do it with when he's around cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the thing I always go off of is like correct in private, praise in public. And like I try to do that a lot, but I'm wanting to focus on it a lot at home so that,
Mhm.
his siblings and that rapport he has with his siblings, or even like all of them,
Mhm.
their relationships are still thriving and
I
they're
love that.
seeing each other in a good light.
Yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
I think one of the hardest things for me with multiples is them fighting. Like literally, it's honestly always a wrestling match all hours of the day. But my biggest tip would be to let them fight. When they're at home, that's their time to practice and learn conflict resolution. So sometimes I'm just like, hey, you can't hit, but let's try and work it out. Let's set a timer and you guys need to share. Let's have 3 minutes with this toy and then you got to pass it off to sister. Because my three girls are back to back to back. So they are my ones that are always fighting. So yeah, I always have to be able to just step in.
Yeah, and the solution can't always be buying 3 of each.
No, literally. Grandma thinks that's the
I get
solution, but I'm like, please, I don't need that many toys. We just need one.
No, I know. I with the kids and the fighting, I think it is important to fight it out, but also like obviously like teaching them how like within the bounds of what they can
Yes.
understand, how to kind of come to a resolution and resolve things with their siblings. I know my parents, they always like made us resolve things. They're like, "Okay, we're not leaving till you
Oh,
like
yeah. Me
you
and my
resolve
brother, we had
this."
to hug. We had
Yeah.
to hug each other until we
Yeah.
apologized.
And that's kind of like one of the things I wanted to focus on with my kids too is just like I do want them to resolve it, but I also don't want to force them to
Yeah,
come to
for
it
sure.
if they're not ready.
Yeah, let's circle back, guys. When
Yeah.
we're all calmed down, we'll come talk about it again or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
for sure. Well, what do you think has been going well then? Like, you find things that's the most difficult is they're fighting all
Yeah.
the time or, making sure that they each have individual time with you.
Yes.
What's going really well?
So while they fight, they're also best friends. And I think that's like my biggest secret weapon because I'm a work from home mom and they are each other's.
Ride or dies.
Yeah, they entertain each other. I can just be like, Micah, can you play with your sisters or do puzzles or color? And so I don't know. I just love seeing them interact together and it just warms my mommy heart because I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to like take a picture and frame it forever. Like just seeing
I
them
know.
become best friends is so heartwarming to me.
Yeah, I love that. Honestly, I have my phone out all the time ready to take candids.
Oh, same.
I just
Videos all
wish
the
that my
time.
husband also had his phone out to take candids one day.
And I think
But
it's really important for them to like develop different skills and cheer each other on. In my house, we do like a karaoke night / talent show. So each of the kids will pick a song and they'll all just like take turns singing. But I think it's really important for siblings to clap for each other and like learn to be proud of each other and not
yeah,
jealous. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure. My oldest really struggled with that, especially when it came to like birthdays.
Oh, yeah, it's hard.
And
Yeah.
it did not stop at siblings alone. Like he would cry at everyone else's birthday parties. Oh my gosh. And it was so embarrassing because he like blew out somebody
Oh,
else's candles. And the birthday girl started crying. I was
no.
like I was I was distraught, but he was worse.
Oh,
He was like, "Well, it's my birthday." I was like,
oh,
"It is not."
shoot.
Yes, that jealousy thing can get you quick. So I
Yes.
really, really love that you're trying to get them to cheer each other on
Yeah.
in their endeavors and in their
Well,
talents.
especially when they become adults, I don't want them to like resent each other just because like maybe someone has like a better job or something. Like just cheer each other on. Like you're going to be family forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that. I think with mine, I'm trying to think because there's like so much that goes on.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I would probably say what's going well. I mean, we're at the start of summer. School just ended this last week. We finished Memorial Day weekend. So I think that like what's going well so far is the transition to summer. They're with each other day in and day out.
That is so good. Do you have like a set schedule they're on, like a routine?
Yes, I would say more so like evening times is our
Yes.
more set routine. Like everybody knows, like at a specific time of the night at like 6 o'clock, we're winding down. Maybe they've already had their baths and we've ate dinner. And we actually do something really similar. We don't do a karaoke, but actually we watch music videos.
Yeah. That's so cute.
We'll like watch these music videos right now. My daughter's favorite one is Tipsy. She likes to
A girl after my own heart.
she
Oh my
likes
gosh, that's
she
hilarious.
likes to mimic Shabuzi in the
hilarious.
little music video. Yeah, so right now I have them watching like cute, like fun music videos that are
Yeah.
appropriate for their ages, and they just dance and stuff.
Yeah. And you probably join in with them and
yeah.
dance like
Oh, I do
I think
because
it's
they'll
so
call
cute
me
how
out.
They just like will stare at me if I'm like dancing around with them. Like, no, mommy can get crazy too.
Yeah,
Like,
no, that's one thing actually. That's my daughter will always be like, "Come on, mommy, dance with us," and
yeah.
I can't say no because as soon as she asks me that, I just think there won't ever be another time again.
No, literally.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
It'll be the best memories for them. Like,
Yes.
oh, remember when mom was dancing in the living room with us? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So I make sure I get up every time they ask. I know that that's actually one of like a little parenting tactic from TBRI, the trust-based relational intervention thing that I got. But with it, they always say that when kids ask you to play, that's them telling you they've had a bad day. They're like, when they're like, can you play with me? That they need their
Yeah.
mom and dad.
They thrive off of that connection.
Yes. And when you play with them, it's a way to show them your love.
love that,
Because,
yeah.
you know, words aren't something that the kids can always comprehend and understand. And so you spending time with them for sure is something that will help them feel that connection and that attachment to you as a parent. So that's going really well, especially because it doesn't come like me pretending how to play like in the kitchen or pretending that the cars are actually working cars. Like
Yeah.
that stuff doesn't come
Yeah.
naturally to me. So I can get up and dance.
Yeah.
That's natural. And as for the imaginative play, I'll practice. I'll improve because that's what, I'm a learning mom. I've got 5 kids, but I'm learning.
Yeah, I think that's the whole theme here is we are moms of multiples, but we're just always learning. So
Yes. So I think that when it all comes down to it, when you're either a mom of one, you can kind of use the same strategies, give your baby that one-on-one time, or also if you're a mother of multiples or a mother about to be having multiples, it's just important to kind of remember like your purpose is just to love them. And then everything else will come naturally. And if it doesn't, that's okay. It can be like that sometimes.
I agree.
Well, thank you for joining us here at the Playdate.
Bye, guys.